Sarepta shares moving higher today as investors await the FDA's next move on the company's muscular dystrophy drug. Our Meg Terrell is here to break down this move. And actually in the pre-market, it was actually a much stronger move on apparently no news for today specifically.
Yeah, no real news. Analysts I'm talking with are saying people might be speculating ahead of next week. The FDA is set to decide by Thursday whether to approve this drug for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And it's really setting up to be one of the most closely watched events in biotech, I would say, of this year. The swing in the stock could be astronomical. And of course, this is a very emotional story. Patients and their families really advocating hard for this drug to get approved. The FDA saying there's just not enough data. There's 12 patients they ran this trial in, but we should get the decision by Thursday. Now, what kinds of stock outcomes could we see here? Stock's trading right now around $18. Most analysts think this gets rejected next week, and the different scenarios there they have are falling to below $10 on that rejection. Simo Simonidis at RBC has it going to $3 to $5, 50% probability that this gets a complete rejection and asks for a whole new clinical trial, which would take a long time. Brian Scorney at Robert W. Baird says this goes above 60 if it gets accelerated approval next week, and he puts that potential at about Simo Simonidis puts that at about 20% chance this gets accelerated approval. People have not counted out that this drug gets approved. But on the investor side, you see the stock having really risen into this decision. So it seems like investors are kind of diverging from analysts in terms of what they expect to happen next week.
Risen into this decision, but this is off the back of a massive decline on April 26th when that FDA meeting essentially said, no, we're not going to accelerate approval here. So, I mean, it's sort of digging itself out of a hole at this point.
Yeah, so what's interesting is that I haven't found any analysts on the street except for one that's think this is going to get approved, yet the expectation is there that it will. But not really when you think back, because the numbers you go through are exactly what I've heard, and actually the upside's a little more conservative, 40. But the way I'm looking at it, I'm in the stock, and I've been in and out of the stock. I can't tell you where I'll be on Thursday. You know, I want to think about it, see how it rises. But right now, I've got down to, say, $6 to $8, and I've got up to at least 40. So I like the way that sets up, particularly without the decision.
Right.
So the FDA can ignore the panel. A 12-patient study is not going to be the first study where a drug was approved. We've seen them approved with much lower participants in the study. And the people I've talked about who are pretty knowledgeable about it think that's going to happen. Now, they're biased. They're in the stock.
Right. You're mentioning there's a lot of paper activity yesterday in Sarepta, and you're selling calls?
Yeah, well, I've been saying for basically the last month, this is the gift that keeps on giving. When you've got 500% volatility because of that binary event that both Meg and Stephen have talked about, that's what you get. But the volume has fallen off dramatically. I mean, a month ago when the stuff hit the fan and the stock fell from 20 to 10, basically the volume was about 200,000 call contracts per week and 180,000 puts. This week it has fallen all the way down, or last week, to 39,000. I mean, in other words, this is dried up today even. I'm sure it'll be hot next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, into the Thursday decision. But right now, the bets are substantially to the upside now. Substantially. I mean, on a 5-to-1 basis, people are betting that it breaks to the upside rather than downside.
The more interesting and curious move, in my view, is PTCT.